Friends and family, welcome back to the show. My renegades, happy to have you guys here. Check this out. This is my main man, Rob. He used to sing for my band back in the day, and he does a lot of music nowadays. He sounds better than ever. Incredible singer. And he's never heard of Ren before. Ren, hi Ren. Hi Ren. Rob.
Yes. I don't know of Ren.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird?
I said other Rens, but none of them were the right one.
No. In fact, I forgot about the NWA.
Yeah.
What was it? MC Ren or
MC Ren.
MC Ren. I totally forgot. So thank you for that. So Rob, yeah, like he just said, he never heard of this particular Ren before, and Ren is the reason why this channel exists. So
is
when
Ren short for something?
No.
It's just Ren.
And his last name is just as short as his first name, Gill. Ren Gill.
Oh.
I will tell you this. He is from Wales. He's Welsh.
No way, I'm Welsh.
He's Welsh. They're practically related.
I got the dragon flag in the basement.
Nice. So he is...
Aberystwyth.
Oh, nice.
Bethesda.
Woo!
Snowdonia.
There you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, we are authentic here now, folks. So Ren cut his teeth busking in the streets of Brighton. You know, busking
like skiing?
is well, almost, except you're playing music on a sidewalk in a busy city where people throw money into your guitar case.
Martin Sexton in Boston.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that happens down here in New York City, but you know, apparently it happens other places too. So that's where he cut his teeth.
Let's see
And this dropped a couple years ago, and it just blew up. It put him on the map. It just you know, set the world on fire, man. So I want you to check this out.
Does he play live anywhere?
I'll get into all that in a bit.
Jumping the gun, eh?
A bit of jumping the gun.
All right.
There's a lot to this artist.
Roll it out.
I don't even want to give you my impressions of him yet. I otherwise I might taint you.
I like you called him an artist.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I don't want to taint you with this. So I mean, I'm going to leave this link down below for you guys, as if you need a link, right? Because what does that say? 47 million views. As if you guys need a link. But I'm going to do it anyway because, you know, I'm a nice guy. And if you'd like to support this channel, those links are down below too. You can join our Patreon group. Or if you just want to say thanks, definitely hit me up down below in the comments and let me know your thoughts and everything. And how you're doing and all that stuff. I love the Renegades. That's the name of their fans, of his fans. They call themselves the Renegades.
There you go.
So we do Renactions on this channel.
There you go.
In the whole Reniverse. Okay? That's what it's all about, man.
All that and then some.
All that and then some. Right. I'm going to just bring this up here, and we're gonna go full screen on this. Full tilt!
My eyes can't suck it all in.
But please do, though. The beauty that's before you. All right, kids, you ready? Let's buckle up. Rob's ready. He's already buckled in.
I'm lamping.
He's lamping. Let's do it. You mean you did not expect a pig man to wheel in a man with a guitar in a dank, asbestos-filled room?
No.
Oh, all right. All right, just checking.
Deep down you know that. Deep down you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, on you pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi Ren, I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is...
So, what's your impression so far?
First thing is interesting choice of instrument. I know it doesn't seem like it would be the strangest thing watching this so far, but that is my first impression, that the last fellow we listened to could also play this song, but he would choose a different instrument and
right.
a different interpretation of it. So that was the first thing that struck me. I think probably just because we were listening to different kinds of music before. I like the back and forth feel, obviously. That's kind of cool. It fits in with the video and everything like that, too. It's not even a matter of just his voice fitting in with the guitar. The guitar being classical, not overpowering his voice, is a really cool choice. Again, a piano might be distracting. Again, you said he was playing on the streets, so the busker thing and Cole Busker, you can't bring a piano out there. So this is just kind of a neat thing. But again, why the classical? Why not a regular acoustic guitar? You're not going to get the same feel. You're going to get the chords and the flowing notes if you played a regular acoustic, as opposed to the choppiness, almost synthesizer quality of the deadening of the notes of the classical guitar, which I think is really cool and fits into the theme and the feel of the song. And I like the animation that he has in his voice, not just the words and how he's pronouncing them and inflections, but how he's acting it and feeling it too, because that is helping the inflections, just the way his movements are, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but it is.
Right. You catching a kind of a Gollum Smeagol sort of
a little bit. The first thing I thought when he first hit was Korn, but that was just me because of the in and out tones of the instrument. If it was an electric guitar, distortion, the in and out with the and voice inflections and stuff like that. That's the first thing I thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing the pig bring him out, now it's making more sense.
Okay. I did tell Rob before we started, I was like, look, let's just start the video because I don't want to like give out too much, right? So Rob doesn't know much. All I said was that Ren cut his teeth busking on the streets of Brighton.
The other question I have is, we're 2 minutes in. This is 9 minutes long. How the hell is this going to stay interesting for 9 minutes?
Ah, yes. That is an important question.
That program, rejoice, all your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man, cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me, I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one, so you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys ran nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't.
He basically comes right out and tells you what the song's about. Having a battle with your subconscious.
Yeah.
Right? And so brilliant.
It's you can easily do the same thing without changing the voices, changing the look, changing the inflection, and do it that way. But this is a lot more interesting doing it like that.
Right. Right. It adds so much more.
I also like that, not that it's a big deal, but he stopped. He's taking a guitar break and back and forth, which adds to the dynamic, even though it's just one instrument. But
Right.
I don't need you, I don't need to hear this, cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking god complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash, I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistophelies, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse. My name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of ends. I am you, you are me, I am you, Hi Ren, I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain.
I like the way they're using the lighting and the camera angles in the video, especially, like I was saying, since it's so long. It's a little bit reminds me, not music or anything else, but the structure reminds me a little bit of something like Pink Floyd or Rush, where it's different segments. Something like 2112 is a long section of song divided up into a few different sections.
Yeah, it's more of a rhapsody.
Yeah, and I mean Rush and Pink Floyd will do it more as separate songs, and this seems to be one continual song, but it's using the similar techniques. And again, I'm surprised he's able to do it with just a classical guitar.
Right.
Uses a little bit playing louder, quieter, some sweep sections and things like that. But you would expect at this point he would bring in distortion, he would do something to change it, but he hasn't had to.
He reminds me of a bard, of a minstrel.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would be walking down the street playing his guitar or his lute, his mandolin, and singing.
Well, yeah,
down
he
the
reminds
street,
me
you know
of
what I
someone
mean?
who'd be like giving the news or something like that back in the day when you didn't have newspapers. He'd be out there and he'd be telling the story. And I don't know if those people got paid for it. I don't.
Only if they were commissioned by a lord or something like that to
but
perform.
I'm thinking that if he was around 1,000 years ago when they were doing this, people might bypass the other people giving the news and go to him and actually pay to hear him give them the news, which is kind of weird and might be like a predecessor to what's going on today.
That's true. That's true.
What else has he got?
You wait. Oh, man. Just back it up a little bit.
Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So coward the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs that I won't retire or stand in your fire, inspired that me to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different sides. When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences. With autoimmunity.
Before we started talking about this, you called him an artist, which kind of fits what he's doing here. He's not playing a song, he's not playing music. It's an art. It's like painting a picture almost. We were talking before when you weren't here about my kids are way into musicals. They're not into rock music or dance music. They listen to musicals. That's all I listen to all the time. And this reminds me of an act or a scene in a play just as much as it does a song. And talking at the beginning how he's playing with one instrument, a classical guitar, and how he was going to be able to make it interesting the whole way through without using another instrument, without adding distortion, without using synths or keyboards and stuff like that. And it's just a different way of doing it, and not looking at this as a song, but as a piece of art.
A piece of art.
That's the way it's looking like.
Right, right, right. This little soliloquy he does at the end here is basically his story in a very, nutshell. But when he does do this live, he does come out in the hospital gown and everything to do this one song live. And this soliloquy is part of this piece. So it's all, he'll do the whole thing. So you'll understand a little bit more about our Ren Gill here.
And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences. With autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it casts. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
So he was bit by a tick and got Lyme's disease. Misdiagnosed. The medication they put him on caused horrible things. Brain damage and all kinds of... I mean, he was bedridden for 10 years, wasting away. Couldn't perform, couldn't do anything. He's been going through a lot of treatments. In fact, he's in Mexico now with stem cell treatments. He was in Canada for quite a long time, and he was able to make a comeback, and then they had regression, and he had to go back for more treatment. So he's struggled quite a bit in his life.
That sounds like the story of my oldest kid's friend. He had been bitten by a tick. He got sick. He was in all the classes in school where he had to have someone followed around by a personal aide the whole time, struggling with everything. Years later, they found out what was going on after misdiagnosed and stuff like that. I think what he had was PANS or something like that. They diagnosed it, and now it's not even the same person, and he's in college and doing great. So
Wow.
it's just that kind of stuff happens. And
Yeah.
by putting this to music and having a story behind it, just shines the light on it and stuff like that. And I like the way he described what it feels like in art terms, as opposed to it hurt. No, it didn't hurt. It was the brighter the light, the larger the shadow it casts, that kind of stuff. So he's explaining it in perception of feeling, as opposed to just the actual adjective of the feeling, which was pretty cool. It makes it real.
Right. You feel it.
Yeah.
He puts you right in his circumstance there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the video is set up where the lights are really chaotic when the bad side is talking to him, the negative side that's trying to keep him down, and then it seems calmer when he's talking as himself. The back and forth that they're doing, and then toward the end there, he looks directly at the camera, like now he's looking right at us, Brilliant, this man.
I like the during the end of this, he was talking about structure and control, and if you let those feelings or the symptoms control you feel like the dark, the light, you're swaying.
Right.
And by getting to the part where you mentioned structure, it wasn't those feelings and emotions and stuff controlling him. The structure let him control that. So he may still have had some of the similar symptoms, but because he learned how to deal with it, he learned to control it as opposed to it controlling him.
His line when he's talking about how he, the dance got easier the more I relax.
Exactly.
So that's what
it's
you're
like
saying.
with anxiety, things like that, if you're having an anxiety attack, they don't tell you to fight it. They tell you to let it go over you like a wave, and it'll pass sooner. If you start fighting it, nothing's going to happen. So you let it happen.
It prolongs it.
Yeah, and you learn how to deal with it. You don't prevent it. You just learn how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Right.
works good.
Right. Yeah, awesome. So he went from that, and let me tell you, he's an independent artist, proudly so. So it's just his fan base that supports him. He's doing everything. He loves the reaction community. We love him. He supports us. He realizes the value that we are like the new DJs. We're out there to promote and push, and he knows that. So he gives a lot of props to us reactors on YouTube. You know, he actually had the #1 single in the UK last year. He beat out Rick Astley, who I think he was making a comeback. The poor man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was like neck and neck, and Ren got the #1. So amazing.
It's cool that the technology allows someone to do things like that, and then what you're doing, and able to just bring these kind of people to light.
Right. Yeah, I'm being corrected that it was the #1 album in the UK, not single. Yes. Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, his body of work is just so incredible. I got to show you something else to really show you what this man can do, because I've got another one after this. I mean, this is what blows me away. Ready? Now, this one is the hunger. Oh, this is what I was going to say is the last video there and the one you're about to see here. They're all done by him and his friends, his mates. You know, they're all artists in their own right, whether they're cameramen or, they're artists. So the performances are done, live in that room. It's not being overdubbed afterward, a little ADR. No. He's performing it as is. They're recording it with only a few mics. You saw he had the lav mic on his lapel there. The guitar is plugged in. They only had a couple cameras. It was a one-take shot all the way through. He did it many times, so he got it just right. But, that's the way he rolls. So it's not like he's overdubbing. There are certain videos that are far more movie-like, where, yes, he's dubbing over the music because they're doing lots of things, and it's cut in many different places because he's all over the place, Not this one. You got to see this. The Hunger, folks. That's right. Let's have Rob check this one out.
Poison in my veins lights a flame in my brain that maintains the pain that may change my frame of mind. Blind, I design rhymes intertwined, double time, genuine Frankenstein. I made a monster. Conquer, music scene, golden ticket, Wonka. Conjure, lyrics in my belly, I got thunder. Younger, everybody wishes they were younger. The older I'm getting, the more I feel the hunger. Belted like a welterweight, how to scout and need Alka-Seltzer, alpha, beta, delta. I help you into the fall, I shelter, melt a mind at two with these rhymes. And I find you never felt a feeling like this. Feeling me, believing I'm a demon, I'm a devil. Fuck the game, complete at every level, I'm a vessel. For spirits a channeler, on my lyrics, I'm a rebel. I raise my fist at anti-capitalistic, pissed I revel. In society collapsing, fantastic, now pump the treble.
Thoughts? Now he produced all the music and everything. This is all him, different side of him.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I mean, it's still in the same vein, but the other good thing that makes the ability to do this differently than 30 years ago when you put an album out, you can go all over the place and do lots of different things, and you're not pigeonholed going, well, I'm a rock guy with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. He can go from what I called like a mix between my perception, Korn and Rush and Pink Floyd, to something that's more of a
straight up hip hop.
Yeah, with different sound effects, which I like.
As someone who does rapping and into that sort of thing, and you said you're into old school rap, Ren is a guy who grew up in the 90s, so he was heavily influenced by that rap, by the stuff that was, just before that. And he incorporates all of this into it. So he approaches rap in a different way. Your ear's good. Check out how he does rap. To me, I think what I really like about his style throughout everything he does, because he changes the flows constantly. This is a 2-minute long song. He probably changes the flow like 15 times. But what blows me away is he uses rap. He thinks of rap in a percussive style.
Oh yeah.
So he's thinking. I mean, I could almost play drums to his.
The other thing that he's doing too is it's percussive, but he doesn't have a ton of instruments in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And by changing his vocal inflections, it's almost like bringing a different instrument to the forefront of the music. And the other thing is, specifically in the late 80s, early 90s, there weren't as many singular rappers. It was a group. You'd have Public Enemy, you'd have Chuck and Flav, you'd have EPMD, you'd have a couple guys.
Right.
You'd have NWA. You'd have a song, and you'd have 3 or 4 different personalities inflected into that.
Right.
So even though it's a singular person, he's doing similar characteristics to that era of music.
Very interesting. That's a good point. Yes, you're right. That's a really good point. Okay. Let's back this up a little bit. Yeah, that's the coolest thing about Rob here is that even though metal background, just like me and everything, but in the early 90s, his band Jam Syndicate was a blend of rock and hip hop that was way ahead of its time.
The specific thing with that is, to keep in a vein, what we did is we basically stayed in a vein, much like this guy, and of rock at that point, and brought in elements of rap, hip hop, industrial techno into an era of showing people that it's all right to bring that stuff in and you're allowed to like it. We're a rock band, but we can do other things, and he's doing similar things by adding the classical guitar in the last song and then the rap and the sounds and
right.
Anti-capitalistic, pissed I revel in society collapsing, fantastic, now pump the treble. Pick up the top with the tip of my tongue and time telepathy, terrified them with the terrible telekinesis tantrum, it's to the enemy. Flowing and flowing and growing and flowing, I swallow the flow like a Toblerone. I'm feasting the flow, I'm a beast with the flow, then I'm switching it up and I'm taking it low. Kitty with the black heart in the car park by Primal, jamming Django, Reinhardt, living with a raw star, refine rats, we'll find our Vincent Dango, I start making my mark like Frankie Sinatra, can call me Arthur. And my style is homegrown like growing Cali weed. Don't need no personal trainer, I got trainers on my feet. You know I got the soul in my bowl when I eat. You know I'm staying grounded when I grind up my beef. But if you got a problem, my brother, I just put on some rubber gloves and just choke it till I rupture some blood that just bubbles up, and the bubbles just double up and you struggle. But luck is up, cause I'm subtle at covering up the trouble. Cover up the crime scene, 1990, that's my scene. 19 years were spent rolling the Thai green. Obscene fiend in a pair of baggy jeans, putting backy with the green. Roll a fatty, dopamine starts flowing. My cerebellum glowing, the pendulum is slowing. I'm swinging and I'm swaying, but I don't know where I'm going. Mind running, Jesse Owens, hallelujah, Leonard Cohen. All the seeds that I've been sowing, slowly growing like trees. I grow, then I preach, scrap that I teach over beats to all those that seek. Teach on these streets can be bleak, but bleak with the place, but I rose to my feet.
hip hop, really, as far as the other thing.
I don't know if you heard that, because I don't know about the sound, but I was just saying that Ren is doing the beatboxing at the end of that as well. You know, just another layer. In that part where a lot of the he was really spitting with the T's.
Yeah.
You know, and you can hear that he's got another layer behind that of something like this. I mean, it's something. It's so percussive.
That's what I mean. The difference that I see between the early '90s rap and stuff like and what's going on here is he's using his voice as an instrument, more like drums, more like some of the stuff that I've heard in some Eminem stuff. And you don't need to know anything. Like, I don't know what he's singing about or rapping about. The words are fast, which for me in this song is fine. I don't know what he's saying, but to me it's almost like listening to an instrumental of rap as opposed to learning the words and the meaning of the song. He could be singing about ducks, cats, stars.
There's little things here and there.
It doesn't matter in this song to me as a listener, because I'm listening to him play a guitar solo with his mouth percussively, I guess is the best way to describe it. So
He throws in a lot of cultural references.
yeah, and they're probably in there.
Oh yeah.
But that's the kind of thing where I think you listen to it a bunch of times and pick up different things.
Right.
It's not like back in the day where you'd have the record and the liner notes.
Right.
So
Right. I mean, he's made some visualizer or lyrical videos
Yeah.
where you can read along.
but he's going fast. I don't know if
he's
anyone
going
can read
fast.
that fast.
You have to almost pause it and keep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting enough that anyone who's into it is going to go back and get the message.
Mhm.
But I just find it interesting that you don't need the message. He could be saying absolutely no words at all, and it would still be cool.
Right. Right. But then when you go back and you do catch some of those bars, you're like, holy shit, he put that in there.
Exactly.
The way he split, I love the way he does that too. He will split a word right in half to make it fit the rhyme
Yeah.
scheme.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he says Frankie Sinatra.
Yeah.
Now he's
Exactly,
splitting
and
that
carry it
last
over.
name. Right. I
Borrow
love that.
and carry the 9. And all
Right,
that stuff.
yeah, right. Yeah. Very
It works.
cool.
But when I write songs, if I write songs live with a friend, we're all playing music and I'm singing nonsense over it, and I'm using syllables and vowel sounds and holding notes and stuff like that. And I would bet that he probably wrote well, maybe not. I would do it. I would write the percussiveness of the sounds for this song and fit the words in later and probably make adjustments. But to me, in this song, it's more important for him to hit the percussive notes and the feel than it is to give a message. So I would suspect that that's what he did. I'm not positive. Probably a mix of both because that's realistically what happens. But
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard
and
anyone
so-
talk
and-
about. I don't even think I've heard Ren himself talk about.
and
this
something
process.
like this, like I said, his voice and delivery is the instrument and is the music of the song. Again, it reminds me of just listening to an instrumental. It's like listening to Dream Theater rap.
Right. That's a really good way to put it.
So,
Yes, gotcha. All right, let's just finish this up.
yeah, it was cool ending like that.
And that was just a 2-minute song. So you went from that 9-minute operetta, to
Does he do
just a
stuff
punchy.
with well, obviously this was just percussion and
Right.
voice. The other one was a classical guitar and voice.
Right.
Does he do anything with synths, or is he basically not basically, but does he stick to his roots of the classical guitar and the street corner singer?
I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to show you a couple more videos, but we're going to call that part 2.
Okay.
All right, so guys, stick around. Hit me up with the comments. I'm going to show them a couple other videos, so come back for part 2 with Rob here. Love you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. See ya.